Hello, ladies and gentlemen. How are you? And thank you for participating in this online webinar. My name is Fatima Omar Khamissa, and this presentation is how to charge what you're worth and get it. The reason I am here today is because many women in business struggle with what to charge. They're often afraid they're charging too much, so they set their fees very, very low. And they're often uncomfortable talking about money, so they hesitate to ask for the sale, apologize for their fees, or include too much in their packages. Why is this a problem? The reason this is a problem is because if their fees are too low, they'll have a difficult time making enough money to sustain their business, right? That's a no-brainer. And to make up for the low fees, women in business often end up working too many hours and getting burnt out, like I did. Adrenal burnout twice in the last 7 years. Another reason this is a problem is because it undermines their credibility by charging so little. People do feel that when things are more expensive, it must be better quality. Here's the good news. The good news is that once a woman business owner has a strategy for knowing how to value her services, a system for setting her fees, and knows how to confidently discuss her fees, she can immediately begin to charge what she's worth. If giving away your services, undercharging or under-earning sound familiar to you, then you're going to learn tips today to help you begin charging what you're worth. And because we only have a limited amount of time, I promise that before we end, I'll share with you a way you can take this further with me. Sound good? Now let's talk about my life today. That's a picture of me. My life today is incredible. I'm a best-selling author, 5 times best-selling author. All my books have hit #1. I'm also a best-selling publisher. We've helped over 100 people hit #1 in their particular fields. We do legacy books, we do business books, how-to, books that position you as an advocate and an expert in your field. We also have journalistic privileges with NBC, ABC, Fox, so we can put out a press release for you in under a week. You can get out there, and in today's market, the digital footprint that you leave is extraordinary, especially now. This is the new normal, and Google loves press releases. But more than anything else, what I'm really proud of is my coach training certification. It's a coach in the box, templates and guides and step-by-step and scripts on how you can take your skills, your past, your expertise, package it in such a way where you get to show other people what you do, solve a problem for them, charge what you're worth, and get it. Oh my God, for me, I'm so passionate about equipping women with the strategies and tools to create that kind of life, because I know deep down, and I am one of the success stories, when women have money, the world becomes a better place. When women have money, they buy shoes for children without shoes. When women have money, they feed the hungry. When women have money, they share that money with their friends, their family, their relatives. So good, soulful, spiritual women take that money and share it, and the world becomes a better place. So I am so committed and passionate about helping women to get where they're supposed to be and lead this country, lead the world. What was my life like before? Well, I experienced 21 years of violence with my first husband. I have 5 children with that man, and I experienced all kinds of trauma, violence, and abuse: sexual abuse, financial abuse, psychological, emotional, neglect, the spectrum of it. And I also watched my children get abused. And for me, it was a situation where I had no parents, no family, no friends. The isolation can impact us in such a way that I didn't know I even had choices. And then I had a dream. It was 2008. My daughter, I have 4 boys and 1 girl. My daughter was actually 8 years old at that time. But in my dream, she was a grown woman. And she had picked up the phone and called me and told me about what was happening in her relationship. And it was a model and an example of exactly what I was going through. That day, I left. That day, the light went on. That day, I made a different choice. I decided that I had to show my children that I was more than just a woman who had experienced violence. I had to show my children a different model of love and kindness. And because all this time, even though I was a victim of violence, I was perpetuating the cycle. I was teaching my daughter how she should be treated. I was teaching my son how they should treat women. That day I made a choice and I left. Now, when I left, it wasn't all easy peasy. My adrenals crashed, first of all, because I had experienced 21 years of violence. I didn't know, what to do. I'd gained 80 pounds. I was crying all the time. And because I'd never worked and I was so isolated, I needed a way to make money from home. I needed a way because going to work wasn't an option because I also have a child with cerebral palsy, spastic quadriplegic. I could get a job and get paid $10, $12, $15 an hour, but I needed a qualified person to look after my son, and that was going to cost me $25 an hour. Do the math. Wasn't making sense. I needed a different way. For me, the way out was coaching, to be able to share my story, tell people about what's happening, and slowly but surely raise my confidence and change my mindset to say, I deserve this new way. I deserve to have a life worth living. I deserve to be able to pay for my children's fees. I deserve all of this without having to rely on another human being or a man. And for me, that became my new why as time went on. Now, like the problem today is that so many women have this amazing skills, amazing expertise. They are so good at what they're doing. They're leaving corporate. They're coming out of working for other people. They know there's something, and if you are listening to this right now and you are one of those women, you know what I'm talking about. You are a giver. You're someone who loves to share. You are generous and you are kind. But somewhere inside of you, there's something more. You know that there's something more you want to do, and you want to go out there and you want to show the world the gifts that you've come with. You want to show the world all the things that you have learned. But the problem is you don't know how. You don't know how to package it. You don't know how to create wonderful packages. You don't know how to be able to create content. With us, we create all of that content for you, so you are never having to fix anything. You never have to go to the drawing board. All you got to do is plug and play. And the problem today is that women are not charging what they're worth. So I'll give you a couple of examples. One of my clients, Michelle, she was charging for her clients $75 an hour. And then she would increase the rate to 85 and 90. And every time she did that, her clients would complain and she would find that it's not really working. Right? Another client of mine was like, I don't even know how to double my rates. I don't even know if I should do this, because if I do, I'm going to lose everyone. So they come from a place of fear. You come from a place of scarcity going, oh my God, I don't know if I can double my rates. I don't know if I can add another $10, $20 to this rate. What if I told you that charging per hour is actually the worst model you can ever use? And we have a system to help you to figure that out, to go, you don't ever have to charge per hour, because that model is so archaic and so old, and it doesn't actually work. It doesn't serve you. It doesn't serve your clients, and it's never going to get you where you want to be. Now, why is this a problem? The problem is that when you don't charge what you're worth, inside of you, you actually don't feel confident to actually carry this out. You're wondering, like, how do I manage this? There's a loss of motivation and confidence. After your session with a client, you feel depleted, you feel exhausted. It's like so difficult, like pulling yourself through mud. You have a very hard time paying your bills. When you want to go do Facebook Lives, or you want to be on Instagram, or you want to do any social media or videos, you just don't have the energy, right? And so as time goes on, you have a loss of business. You're wondering, why is it that I see amazing people online having coaching business? I have all these people who are doing so well. Why am I struggling? Well, guess what? 90% of coaches will never ever reach six figures, right? And you get confused over time. I'll give you an example of my client, Anna. Anna came from that world going, I don't know what to do. I'm not sure if coaching was with me. Maybe I need to go and get a job again. So we sat down, created the strategy for her, figured out what is her brand archetype, because we've got an entire system where you take an assessment, and we figure out what is your primary brand archetype, what is your driver archetype, how do you put these two things together. We'll share with you what the brand archetypes are out there in the world, so you kind of feel, oh my God, wow, my brand, I share the brand with Princess Diana, I share a brand with GMC, I share a brand with TED Talks, I share a brand with Oprah. You kind of get the feeling what colors to use, what words to use. And Anna had such an amazing injection of excitement. Her entire coaching business changed, and she is happier now than she's ever been. Last year, she made $110,000. I mean, wow, big change, big difference, mindset shift, right? Now, what happens when this problem is solved? Well, before we get there, let me tell you about an online webinar we created. It's 45 minutes long because I know we don't have much time here. It's called MillionStarsMasterclass.com. Okay, on that, we actually go through the 10 biggest mistakes that women leaders, spiritual entrepreneurs make that keep them stuck, struggling, and invisible. There's absolutely nothing for sale on MillionStarsMasterclass.com. After the 10 things that you go through where you know, wow, these are the 10 things, maybe I'm making one, maybe I'm making two, but how is it impacting my business? After we go through the 10 steps, we actually give you 7 strategies that you can implement right away. As soon as you get off the webinar, you can implement it, and off you go. Go and implement it, okay? So, Million Stars Masterclass, if that's interesting to you, you want to know what the people are doing, or maybe you just want to figure out, I want to know, where I'm stuck. The other way I can help you, and I can help you privately, is I'm telling you right now is the best time to pivot. If you want to take all of the things that you're doing and put it online, this is it. And I'm just so incredibly grateful to be busy right now, to help so many people. And I also feel extremely grateful and fortunate because when I was on welfare and I was collecting the $535 welfare check, I didn't have money, but I had time. So I took the time to study and learn social media platforms. What's Facebook? What's LinkedIn? What's Twitter? What's YouTube? Those are the 4 that I focused on. And I took a long time to study the culture of all of these things. So when I first launched my coaching business, I had never, ever met my clients. They were all online. And so that is my background. That's the space I come from. Today, I have clients in my local area, in my community, because I network, I go to little trade shows and things like that, big trade show, small trade show. But right now, it would be such an amazing, incredible, and extraordinary time for you to take your skills and knowledge, package it, and put it online. Because yes, the quarantine will be over. Yes, we're going to go out there in the world again, but you will have a secondary source of income. While you hobnob and get excited and have coffee and go to trade shows again and networks, which I'm so excited about, you will have this thing online. So what I've done is I've opened up 5 spots. Yep, just 5 spots. And you can go to speak speak2fatima.com. Is it speak to Fatima or speak with Fatima? Wow, can you check both of those? I'm not sure if my team put it right. Speak2fatima.com or speakwithfatima.com. And on the top, on the banner, it'll say the business of spiritual living. That's my calendar. You can book a time on there and let's have a chat, right? You don't have to commit to anything. We can just talk. So try both those sites, speak2fatima.com or speakwithfatima.com. So that would be SPEAKWITH Fatima.com. Okay, so let's get into what happens when this problem is solved. What happens when you actually start charging what you're worth and you start getting it? Wow, your mind is blown, okay? Your ceiling is shattered. You feel excited. You feel energized. You want to go get to the top of the roof and tell everyone about this because you are so excited about this. You start vibrating at the higher level. And as your confidence increase and you get more validation and more acknowledgement that this is actually working, you start enjoying yourself more. Now, what do you think happens? What is the impact of you vibrating at a higher level, enjoying yourself more? You start attracting higher caliber clients. Yes, you do. You were like, oh my God, where was this person? I love this so much. And that's the journey you do. And when we talk to you every week, we have a mindset call, because you know what they say, right? If the how was enough, everyone would be rich, skinny, and happy, or whatever it is. Rich, skinny, and happy. But the how is not enough. Like I can tell you, hey, do this X, Y, Z, and say you say, I want to shed 10 pounds. And I'll say, okay, no more Mars bar, no more chocolate, sugar, and move more, eat a little bit less. But every time I go through the checkout, I need to get a Mars bar. Oh my God, what's happening in my brain? So it's not the how that's enough. The why needs to be there. You need to have a burning desire and you need to get your mindset right. And we help you with that because we know, I've been there, I've seen my clients do this. You start attracting higher caliber clients and you're like on fire, okay? And how do you solve this? Like I said before, if the how was enough, everyone would be rich, happy, and successful, spiritual, awesome, have their soulmates, live in a cottage, drive a yacht or ride a yacht or whatever it is, have like 100 horses. So the number one way to solve this is mindset. That's the number one way I have found out. You can have your strategy, you can have your recipe, but if you don't get your mindset right, it is not going to work. It's not going to work for you. It's not going to work for your clients. And you will continually perpetuate on that hamster wheel of frustration, disappointment, doubt, wondering if this is the right thing to do. So book a call with me. I'd love to get on a phone call with you to just talk and see where you're at, and I am such a stand and I'm so committed to you standing up and charging what you're worth and get it. Because for me, women are the future. Women are the way we're going. We need more women leaders. We need women to change this world. We need women to lead. And when you get money, you're able to do all those other things you want to do. You're able to share your experience, share your skills, share your time, and you're able to stand in your power. And that's what my commitment is for you, that you stand in your power. You get to make an immense difference in the world because your contribution is needed so desperately. Thank you for listening to this. I love you guys. I really appreciate your generous listening. I love doing this for you, and let me know how I can serve you. Talk to you later.